Namaskar. I am AJ Thomas. I am recording this video of my own poetry reading for Sri Guna Moran. The first poem I am going to read is titled Imminence. It's in two parts. Part 1. Rogue power palpable in the throbbing skin covering the world twitches again. The world order, quicksilver, changing by the minute, following the whims of a single power center. The rest waiting with bated breath for the all-consuming conflagration. Unipolar, sucked into the black hole. Creation is but a moment's flashing vision, an impulse containing the last vestige of life. Part 2. Out on a morning walk, I am once again alive to the greenness of grass, the chirping of birds, the shimmer of the water on the lake. This too is a moment of creation. My senses sucking in everything around, the poor, incorrigible habit, yet that is my moment's truth. Poem number 2 is titled Present. The thin film of butter between the two slices of coarse bread, past and future, delicious to the attentive, lost to those who gloss over it. The present is not in conspiracy or intrigue, but in true understanding of the other, this moment. No music and laughter in a diplomatic exchange, only caution and vigil prevail. As the adversaries engage to win or lose, the clown always wins over the clever courtier. The present is here and now, alive and kicking, in laughter and weeping, in slaughter and terror too, and not in brooding over the past or fantasizing about the future. In the vision that one sees, in the life breath that one draws, the beloved is present. The present is in preserving the moment. Now, my third poem is titled Kapilar's Tale Now. Kapilar was an early Tamil poet who lived sometime between 3rd century BC and 3rd century CE. He's supposed to be a Siddha poet, a divinely inspired poet. So, Kapilar's Tale Now. In the morning's dew, Kapila saw a green grass blade. On its tip, a tiny dewdrop, smaller than a grain of barnyard millet. Reflected on it was the skyscraping palm tree standing behind. Another analogy is the tiny giant binary, the Bija Vriksha Nyaya, or the law of seed and tree. The Anu, the smallest particle of matter, is our concept of atom. The atom bomb of Hiroshima, Nagasaki also springs from the tiny gargantuan cause-effect chain of the Anu. In the vast ocean made up of tiny water drops like the one on the grass blade tip, life in all forms thrives, eating each other and surviving. On the meager dry land for millennia, humans kill each other but do not eat the carcass mostly. With modern weapons, not much of the body will be left. They pulverize everything, not quite the atom bomb or its later avatars, but effectively obliterating all. They are indeed consumer-friendly. They do not cause radiation carrying on for generations, but merely annihilate. The small unit, the Anu, the atom, turn the biggest weapon I do not know whether I should celebrate its smallness like I did long ago. Poem number 4 is titled What's Left in the World of the Dead. Memories that dear once cherished, memorabilia that are not moved out sooner, journal notes, snapshots poking at recall buttons, texts, pictures, and moving images on email, WhatsApp, Facebook, Insta Reels. What's left of the vibrant existence but a moment ago, now gone invisible, incognito somewhere, to sneak back in as an unknown fear, a lingering sob. Regrets that while there was still time, things could have been made better, but it will never happen now. Things that could have been said and done in a different way, stubbornness and foolishness perpetuating biases, hardening positions, all let go of grip. Now a smarting throb in the chest for the still knife. Absent in harder minds and helpless hearts too, looking for lesser number of plates to fill, mouths to feed. The great law of death, decay and growing back, the cycle repeating ad infinitum, but not really, until something drastic like Armageddon happens. Till then, all metaphysical projections and gatherings, sometimes of millions of salvation seekers, go on, forgetting that we do not know what's left in the world of a dead man or woman or child, and play netless trapeze in leaps of faith. Doing things that won't hurt your immediate neighbor or possibly bring a smile on a little one's lips, instead of wiping thousands of them off the face of the earth by wars and strife for whatever righteous causes you let loose. Leaving back something in the world of the dead, like the smiles, the mirth, the buoyant spirits, and the frolic of children, and the holiday reels, now orphaned because the player is gone. What's left in the world of the dead? Nothing pretty much. For the one who left, and indeed for almost all who remain. For the short term, a void, maybe a gnawing heartache, but really, like Melville wrote, it's all as if the great shroud of the sea rolled on, as it rolled 5,000 years ago. What's left in a dead man's world is the title of an iconic Malayalam short story by the late V.P. Shivakumar. My 5th poem is titled Death by Fire. Death by fire. Fire and brimstone at night, showered on the slumbering Sodom and Gomorrah, is what I remember first of a vengeful act. But there is a contrast. The end result of that conflagration let loose upon the perceived sociopaths and sinners. The residue of that great blaze was an anticlimax. It's the waters of the Dead Sea where the living float and even the half-living across the West Bank dare not test its waters, for no one knows what to expect if you dive deep into the scriptures. It's all very similar, even same in the beginnings, but what went wrong where is in no one's control. Move further west and you tread the burnt out sands and soil where milk and honey flowed once, and where the walls came tumbling down. Jericho, the city of yore. Further west, the apocalypse is afoot now. All those bombs, missiles falling on hapless sleeping women and children while you sleep in your sleepy little hamlet, unconcerned, is death brought by fire through your acquiescence. Death by fire is everywhere. Now my 6th poem, Death by Water. A glut of a downpour, a cloudburst, or a hillside opening up. or a lake formed overnight in its womb breaks water, delivering devastation. We can blame it on anyone, least of all fate. It's our own doing. Life forms, breathing, wriggling, struggling, while in another phase, splashing, frolicking, all fun and games will be pushed out from your lungs within 3 minutes down under. Therefore, if you're submerged in your sleep, water level rising in your cell, with no escape, you die like a rat in an immersed trap. It can be actual, it can be factual, it can be virtual, it can be a process that fills your space up in millimeters, like most of the slow soaking policies slipped in while you slumber. Your element is certainly not water. Thank you for listening to me.